Okay, going for a short ride this morning. I popped the DB killers back in just to test what that's like, and it's yeah, it's a lot more. It's a lot more refined. I think a lot friendlier to my neighbors. And there's other people on the road and stuff. The temperature's still a little bit low, so I'm gonna basically roll away from home until it's up to temp. So what I found yesterday was having the DB killers in still gives you like a nice growl from the exhaust. You still get some pops and bangs. All the pops and bangs are still actually there, but it comes across as like there's like a lot less, just because it's a lot quieter. So it's sort of in between the standard sound and what it sounds like with a full race system and no DB killer. Kind of somewhere in between that, but it's definitely a lot louder than stock still, which is good. So yeah, you still get like a decent amount of the excitement without it being too much with the pops and bangs for the rest of traffic, and everyone still hears you coming, which is good. Yeah, and it's not that it's quiet, it's just it's a lot more chilled. Wheelies seem to come a lot easier now. yeah, my conclusion I came to yesterday when I tried out the DB killers, and I've still got them in now, is that I'll definitely be using the DB killers for commuting and for track days, and I think it should be fine. Whereas the no DB killers just attracts too much attention for, you know, that kind of riding. It's like regular chilled riding, but it doesn't sound chilled, and everyone around you is like, oh. this a race? This isn't a race. This is just training runs. That was the clearest run I've had on this road, I think. With what, one car in front of me that I had to overtake, it was perfect. That was an awesome ride. Nice way to start the morning. So I've been having trouble with my GoPro. Been having trouble with my GoPro lately, where it just stops recording, and I think it's because the battery loses connection, and then yeah, it just stops recording the thing. So I tried to put like tape around the battery, and that's helped, but the problem started to happen again. Yeah, and on my other battery, what's happened is I couldn't even pull the battery out. So in trying to get the battery out, I pulled off the blue tab at the back of the battery. And so the battery still works, and I managed to pull it out. There's a nice YouTube video on, like, if you ever get stuck like that, there's a nice YouTube video on how to get your battery out if you don't have the blue tab at the back of your GoPro anymore. So that was super useful. So I'm using my other battery now, but yeah, it's starting to give me that issue again, where somewhere along the ride it's just not recording anymore. It's so annoying. Nice, man. It's got like this nice little subtle backfires, not backfires, subtle decel pops. You know, if you're just chilling at like low revs, just like when you go accelerator, just kind of pop, a little bit of pops. In other kind of little tweaks tweaks I've made on the bike. I've rotated the handlebars themselves forward a little bit to help with my wrist position when I'm on like sort of full throttle, especially on track days. What I've noticed is, like, if I get to the end of the throttle with the standard handlebar position, my wrist gets bent all the way backwards at the end. So I thought, okay, let me rotate it just like it's like a degree and a half maybe forwards, you know, and see if that helps. And so far it's helping, but I'll know a little bit more at the track day next week if that has actually made like a significant change or not. And you can use the markers over here, and you can see how far forward to move it. So it's not moved a lot, it's like probably like max about 2 millimeters. It's all that it's been moved or tilted forward, but it does feel like a big change. So yeah, you don't have to move it much. And then what I've also done is adjusted the angle of the brake and clutch levers as well. So I've tilted those forward as well, so that when I'm coming off accelerator, like from here to there, my fingers are not having to go backwards and then over again to find the brake lever or the clutch. It's kind of just there. I can just lift my fingers up and it's there. And that was cool. I've been watching like a bunch of those Dave Moss videos and it's yeah, it was cool to like learn a little bit and make subtle adjustments. And I think that's the key, is if you stick to subtle adjustments, you know, you also get a better feel of the bike and do one thing at a time. See if that's helped first before you change too much. I'm in the area, so I might as well do a short blast up Chapman's Peak. Chapman's Peak Drive. vibe sounds amazing on this road. Beautiful views. Actually so narrow that there's barely space for runners, cyclists, cars and motorcyclists, and then buses as well, tour buses. So yeah, you just have to be Yeah, it was awesome. Look at this. Beautiful views from Chapman's Peak 5. So that on the other side is Hout Bay. Yeah, and it's everything feels really close by in Cape Town, in Western Cape. But yeah, that'll probably do it for this video today. Probably hear all the wind as well on the side. But yeah, I think super happy actually with the DB keyless in for most of the riding that I'm doing. And then every now and then when I want to have a bit of fun, or even more fun, I'll turn up the volume by taking the DB keyless out. But yeah, awesome. I'll probably stay here, do one more run up and down, and then head back home. Cool. Okay, that's round 3. This is gonna be the 3rd recording. I'm gonna do another run of chappies, and then head to what are you doing? And then head somewhere for another coffee. Oh no, the bus. Ah, damn it. That's annoying. Damn it. Oh, a bit slow. Gosh, it's too much. Oh shit, bruh. Lose my other glove. Oh! Oh, it's there. Jeepers, I almost lost my other glove. It's so windy here. I thought the wind took it over the edge. No, I would have sucked. Yeah, there's no way. I would have just going to fetch it if it went over. Okay, here we go. Other ride, I think. Problem is I'm gonna catch that bus now. It's kind of annoying. My helmet. Okay. That's okay, this gives me a bit of room to warm up the tires a bit. Over here I could do. For the next turn, and then I'll be able to overtake this dude, because there are no cars. There we go. problem with you see with the runners and cyclists, it's not their fault, but it's just something you have to watch out for, is that because the cyclists and runners, you're gonna have to watch out for cars driving like this on the line, over the line and coming into your lane, because they're overtaking cyclists and runners, because there's no pavement here. Riding like wide. Sun's in my eyes a bit in this direction, so it's a little bit tricky. I can't actually see the corners coming up quick enough, but yeah, this is the end of this road anyways, and how long it is to go back. Find a nice spot for coffee. Side and potentially a cyclist on the other side that pleasing.